So what I want us to do is to start becoming more conscious, start choosing things in a better way for ourselves, and start creating a life that's going to gear us to really take advantage of the opportunities that are going to show up for us in the years to come.
This podcast is brought to you by The Integrated Human. We work up, down, inside out to plug yourself into your potential. If you want to see what we are up to and what's next, sign up to our newsletter or follow us on social media. If you like what we are doing, we really appreciate it if you can like our post on social media and YouTube and help us grow.
Welcome to the Big and Small podcast. I'm Jason Shields and I'm big.
And I'm Marit Gabrielsen and I'm the tiny one.
Hey. So, this week's been pretty busy. We've had some...
Always like, what happened this week?
Yeah, right?
What can we do?
It's like today feels like a month and the week went by in a second and it's just crazy.
I was thinking the other day, this week have been full of peep, but I can't remember what peep was.
Yeah, just because it's
that?
so much goodness. And we had something extremely cool. We have something called the Upgrade Thought on YouTube that was picked up
It's not on YouTube, it's on Facebook.
Oh, it's on Facebook? Yes, but we used to have them on Facebook as well, didn't we?
No, we used to have them on YouTube. Now we have them on Facebook.
No, that's right. Yeah, you see? That's how busy it is. I don't know what is up and down.
It's a lot of social media channels.
That's it. Thank you.
The Integrated Human
Yes.
mostly are on Facebook and Instagram, and the podcast is on YouTube.
That's right.
Yes.
That's it. But
anyways, we have now Upgrade Thoughts on Facebook.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
And the cool thing is that it got picked up and now is being used in private schools in America.
That's cool.
It's very cool. We're able to help people lift a little bit because what most people are aware of during this time of social distancing and all of that is that they've lost a little bit of connection with their peer group. And the one that they're using the most right now is the peer group video. And the people around you define you, right? Because you're basically the average of the 5 closest people to you. That's one of those nice things they say, but is it true? It's pretty much, it's definitely true-ish, if not completely true. And
to say that you're not influenced by what you see and what you hear and who's around you is wrong.
That's completely
That's
true.
why you see, like, if you have a leader when you're 15 and the leader choose to wear black, all of a sudden everyone wears black.
Yeah, that's it. And the weird thing is, now this is interesting. Carl Jung was one of the greatest psychologists of the modern age, right? And he was a student of Freud, who's also, everybody knows the name Freud and mistakes and slips and all that stuff, right? But Carl Jung said that men, I like to say people, he said men don't have ideas. Ideas have men. And that means that ideas, the way things are, the way you perceive, kind of, they grip you, and then you become an outlet for that idea. If you heard of you've heard of memes on Facebook or Instagram, right? Well, what a meme actually is a thought pattern. And the word meme has been used for a long time because these waves of things go through communities, go through nations, go through the world. Like for a while in Europe, you could buy a house with a tulip bulb because suddenly tulip bulb was worth, the flower of the tulip was worth, if it was a special color or whatever, it was worth as much as a house. It was like the status symbol. And now we're like, yeah, tulips are cool, but you're not going to buy a house with a tulip bulb.
Especially if you're Dutch.
Especially if you're Dutch, right? We love the Dutchies.
Oh, yeah, we love the Dutchies.
Oh, we love the Dutchies, right? And
their tulips.
And we'll give them
and their chocolate. And their stroopwafel.
Yeah, and their little wooden shoes.
Yes. Not the wooden shoes, but stroopwafel. Yeah. Oh, my.
Oh, they're lovely.
Holy.
Yeah. So,
if you haven't had stroopwafel,
you
should take that.
Absolutely.
I think that was also pronounced very correctly.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. Anyways.
We're not shaming that. Nope. So, the point is that you have these thought patterns that are moving around in different communities now. It's like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the biggest thing ever, and realizing that Bitcoin is based on a story,
an idea,
and it's literally not based on any real value at all. It's an idea that we're taking money away from the system and that we're going to create our own security and our own system outside the system. It's a little anarchical, a little rebellious, but in the end of the day, people are like, yes, but you have to go out and mine these things and it's very difficult and you have to use all this electricity and these computers to do it. But okay, my friends, guess what? It's basically a mathematical jigsaw puzzle. And when you solve one, then you own a Bitcoin and you download it on a hard disk. And if you throw the hard disk away, you can't get it back. If you give it away, nobody can trace it. So there's a lot of scams going on, because what happens is that we are giving value to a thought, an idea, and then people can take the proof of this idea from you, your Bitcoin, and nobody can take it back because it's actually not worth anything. So in real value, yes, but because we're deciding that it's worth something, that's worth, the Bitcoin went up from $3,000 a Bitcoin to 50,000. It's kind of like saying, yeah, the tulip was just a flower, but now suddenly you can buy a house with it. Okay, the flower dies in 5 weeks, but somehow the house you can live in your whole life is worth the same. Does that make any sense?
No, but
that's an idea.
Often doesn't.
It's a meme, right? It's a thing that's going on. So we always have to kind of give ourselves a moment to relax and observe and try to figure out, where have ideas grabbed us? Where have our thought patterns manipulated us?
What memes are you caught up in?
What memes are you caught up in?
You often see that in people have rules for themselves. I don't do that.
Yeah.
That's something I don't do. I would never do that.
Right.
And that was one of the things I found most liberating, was to understand that, yeah, I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer not to.
Yeah. The consequences aren't worth it, so I won't do it right now. But if it was worth it, I probably would.
I probably would do it. Yeah. If that's not always the right thing is the right thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, and to free yourself from the thoughts, like you say, you have to free yourself from all that. I have a talk with Oscar, your new dog, the other day. He's a puppy, and he needs to learn rules, what to jump on and what not to jump on. And I put him down and I looked him in the eyes, and this is a true story. I looked him in the eyes and I said, Oscar, you have to understand, right now you need to learn the rules of society. You need to listen to your mothers and fathers and teachers and preachers and your daycare mom, which is me.
Yep.
And then when you're a little bit bigger, then you need to break them.
Yeah.
Then you need to know when it's the time to not do that thing, because what you learned was not the right thing anyways. But right now, you need to follow the rules. You need to learn the rules so you can be a good pup.
Rules.
Later on, you need to be an even bigger pup, because then you need to know when to. You don't need to follow the rules.
That's it.
And he said, yes.
Yes. And rules are stale. Rules are not in the living moment. And the living moment dictates the truth. Because what is necessarily the right thing to do in the middle of high society in the 1800s is perhaps not the exact right thing to do right now. So your situation, the times, the memes that are prevalent in society, all of those things make what's quote unquote right or quote unquote true what it is. Now, I'm bringing this up because Marit and I, we treat a lot of people in the clinic. We help a lot of people, and we're communicating through the podcast, but also through the Integrated Human, having a meditation event not too long.
Yeah, in 5th to 6th of March.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, we were going to have a beautiful event in Flom, but, sometimes you get no from the universe, basically, and COVID restrictions and stuff. And then, then we decided, no, we got so many messages from people that really wanted and needed it. So we decided to put it up here in our own hometown instead. And we are almost sold out of tickets. Exactly. So if you want to get one, please buy one right now so you get your spot, because they're limited spots. But
bring it.
Bring it. But that's going to be a very nice event where we talk about basically the foundation of meditation.
That's it.
why we do it, and but you can never steal my thoughts, or I can never see my thoughts, or what's mindfulness?
What is enlightenment anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
all those
we're
things,
gonna
we're going to answer those.
Right? Questions, and we're going to meditate a lot. And if you have done some meditation alone, for instance, and you haven't meditated in a group, I would really recommend it, because to meditate with more people, it's another experience.
It's a trip.
It multiplies.
That's it. And anyway, this is an important point. And Marit and I have been talking about this a little bit, because we basically are in service to so many beautiful people. We also have people who are in crisis or tragedy or experiencing hard things.
Oh, yeah.
And we've talked about the fact that the social distancing and the COVID whole crisis thing that people are perceiving right now creates a lot of distress, and there's a lot of people taking their lives. And this is the thing that we're talking about peer groups, my friend, and we're being used in the States. They're broadcasting it there. I want you to take a moment to please again stay in contact with your peer group, because did you know that because of the idea of memes, the idea of thought patterns, this whole process that Carl Jung was talking about ideas having men and men not having ideas, did you know that taking your own life is contagious?
It goes in trends.
It goes in trends, just like tulip bulbs, just like Bitcoin, just like wearing black. Just like wearing black. And the conditions right now are actually set up so that a lot of people are desperate. A lot of people are feeling disenfranchised, isolated. Okay? So it could be a cup of coffee. It could be a good word. It could be a gaming night. It could be so many cool things. Just show up and engage and protect yourself from those feelings by being in contact, right? Now, you're saying, yeah, but what if they have it and I get stuck with it, right? That's not the way it works, because
it's not a flu.
If you are on the podcast, if you're listening to us right now, you are one of the many people who are conscious. You are of those people who are awake in their shoes. And
working to become more and bigger and more of you, actually.
That's it. You're growing. And as long as you are conscious, you cannot catch it. Meaning that
yes.
The ideas don't have you if you're awake. Now, what Jung was talking about actually was the collective unconscious, which so many people are, right? How can Donald Trump be a president, for example?
It's insane.
But he is a representative of the collective unconscious. There's so many people out there who are just kind of doing the thing that's in front of them, but don't really have any self-reflection or perspective on themselves or what they want. They're like, is freedom good? Hell yeah, freedom's good. Or, well, do you want to be able to keep your gun just in case? Yeah, just in case. Hell yeah, they're not taking my guns away from me. Yeah, but, well, do you want to pay extra taxes? No. Well, those taxes go to giving you universal health care, and the fact that you have uncontrolled diabetes and gingivitis and issues with probably some pre-cancerous lesions on your skin because you can't afford sunblock. Yeah, you actually do want to pay the extra taxes, but they don't tell you what the extra taxes are for. You just know, I don't have enough money to pay extra taxes. No way. Ain't happening, right?
Ain't happening.
Yeah. Hallelujah. So the point is that there's so many things that are happening around us, and you are not going to be a victim of it because you are aware. You're taking a moment to listen to something, to be with people, to include us in your peer group so that you can be a pillar of stability.
And I think this is one of the thoughts I had. No, I remember one of the thoughts I had this week, and that was that it's so important to when you take them, you fly with KLM or whatever, and they come with the kind of security thing and put on your own mask before helping others, and everybody's going, I'm going to put the mask on the person next to me first. but you should put on your own mask.
Yeah.
And
save yourself first.
Save yourself first, so that you can help others.
That's it.
I think one of the things that was most difficult for me growing up was to understand that my parents are not only my parents. First of all, they had a parental life before me, which I don't understand.
Say what?
I don't understand.
Were they human beings before you came to the world?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But that was quite difficult. And then to understand when you start to see your parents' patterns, they're not helpful for them. So to throw my dad under the bus, he collects stuff. And how many times over the last 15 years haven't I tried to help him clean and throw things away and fix his problem by cleaning. The issue has been that he doesn't want to clean it right now.
No.
So we clean it, but then give it half a year, and it's back.
Yeah, it's back.
Because it's mine. It's not my job to do that. My job is to show up. If he asks me, could you please come and clean with me at 2:00 on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yes, Dad. Of course I will. But it's not my job to tell my dad, we're going to clean your mess at 2:00.
No.
Because that is his thing to deal with, not mine.
Yeah, and you can't fix something that for him, it's a need. It's obviously a need.
You can't help, that's the thing, you can't help people fix anything that they need fixing until they want to fix it themselves.
This is part of unconditional love, my friends. Okay? Now this is the point. This is the point. The unconditional love says that, okay, maybe he has a lot of stuff that other people think is just a mess, for example, or just old junk. But from his point of view, he's a handyman. Like he can fix
everything.
Yeah.
And it's just has to be said.
Yeah.
I was putting on a lamp. We were moving into an apartment, and I don't have a hook for the lamp. I didn't even know I needed a hook. And then he said, wait a little bit. And then 15 minutes later, he comes down with a hook that he knew. With the perfect hook that he had somewhere in a box that was in a box that was in another box.
Yeah. So he knows what he has.
Oh, yeah.
And for him, it's important because that's basically part of what he expresses into the world. He is a fixer. He fixes stuff. He's amazing. He's very creative. He's very handy, and he's excellent at what he does. So for him, it's wealth.
Yeah, you can use this for stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
and you will use it for stuff.
And he will. And he will.
Yep.
But of course, is it really the truth that you're going to use all of it? No, it's the 80-20 principle. Basically, 80% of it's junk, 20% is useful. And how do you know it's junk? You don't know what part of that is going to be useful. Oh. So you have to have
everything. You need 100%.
You need 100% of it, right? So 20% is useful. The rest of it could be thrown away. So if you throw something away, 80% of the time, you're going to be right.
You're still a good bet, but that's the thing. How many of us, if you think about it, will throw yourself under a bus for a girlfriend or a family member or a good friend or whatever, just to, because you see that person need help with this thing and I can fix it.
Yeah.
But what if you had used that energy to see where you can fix yourself?
That's it.
But of course, that's much more scary.
Yeah. But, and that's the thing, to find something that helps you and them at the same time. And that, like taking that coffee, having contact and all that, because it builds you and them, right? So having that network and supporting your peer group is one thing. And to do that as,
what's it called? Symbiotic?
Yeah, symbiotic circle. A symbiotic circle.
I'm going to ignore my thing and I'm going to help my friend with her trauma because I see what she needs help with. Yeah. And then she's going to go, I see what you need help with and I'm going to help you with your trauma. Then we're both dealing with things we can't do anything about because my trauma is my trauma. You can't do anything with it. And if you try to do, you're stealing from my process.
Exactly.
Which is actually not very friendly to do because I need to learn from it.
Yes.
And grow. And if I don't learn, if you just put Band-Aids on it.
Yep.
I'm not going to learn. I'm not going to evolve. You're stealing from me.
Yes. You're actually stealing from them. Just like if you had cleaned your dad's mess up, because from your point of view, it's a mess, but from his point of view, it's richness. It's his wealth.
And
because
it's actually things that he can use to help me.
That's it.
With.
Right? But if you clean it up, you're actually doing, in a way, some kind of violence. Because from his point of view,
I'm interfering.
You're interfering with his life cycle, his ideas, his way of being, right? Now, that's the point. That respectfully being present and loving being present and loving is the way to help a friend transform. Fixing their problems is not.
Because you can't fix them.
You can't actually fix them because if you take your dad's stuff away, what is he going to do?
Oh, he's going to collect more
stuff. He's going to collect more stuff. Yeah, you tried. Yeah, I remember.
That's the thing. I tried.
Yeah, I remember you and your wonderful husband, Eidik, were out there fixing stuff. And it was just like, oh, really?
And you think this is the first time? No, it's not.
Yeah.
And then I just realized,
it's not your work. It's not your job.
And then I'm like, oh, that was easy. And it just became a weight off my shoulders. Mm-hmm. And when my dad asks me now to help, I said, give me a time. I will be there. Mm-hmm. Don't just tell me, can we do it? Yes. But give me a time and I'll show up.
Yeah.
But I need kind of to know what frame, because it's not my job to pick the time. That's your job.
Yeah. You decide what you want that would be helpful. And then I can do, and I will work with you.
I will work with you.
That's it.
And if you have friends that you see that, oh, that person should meditate, well, maybe you should meditate too. Yeah,
maybe you should enjoy sitting and meditating with them.
And that's the thing you can do. If you see a friend need something, or you said that would be very beneficial for them if they started that, just take a second and look at your own life and say, would I benefit from doing that? And if the answer is yes, then you can say that, hey, could you help me? Because I need this, and they can join you with it. So then you are helping them with helping you.
Yep.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But it's very interesting how we look at others and how much we can sacrifice for them, but then refuse to look at ourselves.
Yeah, that's it. Have you heard of Jordan Peterson?
Yes.
Now, he's kind of like a lightning rod for
he has some unpopular opinion.
Yes, he's gotten battered quite a bit, and he's actually, I think deep down in his heart, he's quite a generous, loving, very compassionate human being.
I do like how I'm not agreeing to everything he's saying, but the way he frames it.
Yeah.
He puts it so much on the
edge.
At the edge.
It's very inflammatory.
It's very inflammatory, but it makes you think a little bit.
Yeah, it does. It does make you think. Yeah, right. And he has a tendency to bring up everything about personality and personal politics and this whole cancel culture thing. And he talks a lot about gender roles and hierarchies and all the things that are kind of hot topics.
Women's place and man's place.
And it's not that he's putting anybody anywhere, but he's also trying to, in a way, take away a little bit of the overreaction to the old patriarchy, right? Because he's also saying that there wasn't really a patriarchy, because calling it patriarchy is like, is putting it in a box and it's defining something that's wasn't defined. But yeah, there was a patriarchy. Of course, there's a patriarchy, and there's a whole bunch of reasons why there was a hierarchy and a patriarchy and all of this stuff. But what's very interesting is that the breaking away from the old rules has now opened it up for us to have new rules, right? And many of those things are very good. Some of them not. And almost none of them only have positive benefits and no negative benefits. We're always having positive and negative. So let's take a system that was even older than medieval European culture. Let's go all the way back to India, where they had the caste system. So not only were you a part of a family that maybe, let's say you're everybody's a carpenter, and all the women are carpenters' wives, which means that they know exactly what a carpenter needs, because you grow up in the house being taught by your mother about what it is. Okay, these are the things that carpenters need. This is the amount of food that they need. This is the kind of food that they need. These are the injuries that they have that you have to fix. This is what it's like to have kids on the economy that a carpenter brings in. You know how to run a house and a family of a carpenter, because you're the carpenter's
wife,
daughter. right? So when you get married to a carpenter, which you will,
because that's your cast.
That's your cast, and that's your family's role in society. You are 100% supercharged. You know exactly when you step into that house what you do. That's how easy it is, right? So it's very efficient. And let's say that you are a carpenter's son. You know how to be a carpenter. You grow up looking at you're lifted up by your dad's carpenter hands, and you know what he does in the evening with his tools, and you know exactly how much you have to eat and what you have to maintain and all that stuff. So then that's a very, very cool way to get an education, because not only do you kind of know, or you've been educated how to do it, you are that by the time you're there. But how many of us actually get the EBGBs thinking that you have to be exactly like your dad or exactly like your mom? Can you say 100% of us? Right? Because there's this piece of our growing up where you have to break away from the way your mom and dad were. Mm. That's part of evolution, human evolution. It's like, well, if my mama does that, then I'm definitely not doing that. Oh, my dad dresses like, I'm definitely not going to dress like them. But then suddenly, weirdly enough, you start having kids or whatever. And then suddenly the thing that your mom always said to you comes out of your mouth. Mm-hmm. You know, you realize that, oh my God, I actually do come from those two people. And I actually should have been listening to them, because what they're doing is pretty efficient. And maybe I can evolve it. Maybe the times aren't the same and I have to adapt. But a lot of the things that they were doing and saying weren't the worst things, and actually it's not stupid. But we want to have all possibilities, all options open at all times. Agree or don't agree?
I agree.
Right? Mm-hmm. So my point is that they talk about the leftist and the fact that in universities they have to have like rooms where people feel overwhelmed and traumatized, and they go and stay down there and cuddle with a pillow and cry a little bit. You know, we are now accepting so much, and I'm not disparaging people who have emotional issues. I'm just saying it's becoming very normalized,
which is good. Just from one that's both of us deal with that shit. It's good.
Yeah,
but to a certain degree, like we say, an inner process should not wreck your other life.
Yeah. You need to function. You need to
learn how to deal with it. Yeah. Not let that define you.
Yeah. What was the thing you said to Asko? First, you needed to.
He had to first learn all the lessons from his mothers and fathers and teachers and preachers and his daycare mom. Yes. And then when he's older, he needs to learn to break those patterns to see what actually is function within the thing he's doing.
That's it. But you have to learn how to function in society
first.
So if society is so sensitive to everybody's special needs, then it will not move forward. And you're like, well, you know, society is the collection of human beings, and it's all about all of us being heard. My friends, unfortunately, part of some people's roles is not being heard, meaning that what they need and want. I mean, if you're going to break yourself down, even if you're a white male, if you're going to break yourself down into your subcategories, you will find several subcategories that are not being respected in society.
For the people that want to, what's the subcategory? What's the subcategory?
Well, a subcategory, let's say that's, and I'm not putting these in any kind of priority.
This is an example.
This is an example, so please don't hang me. But let's say that I am, this is an example. I'm not describing myself. I am a female, but I feel that I was born in the wrong body, so I'm actually male in my soul, but I'm a libertarian, not a Democrat, and I am an artist with a background in banking, with a large student loan that I feel, because I'm a little bit of an anarchist, shouldn't have to pay, because I should get what I want and only do what I want.
Because I'm special.
Because I'm special. And at the same time, I would like to, of course, have special compensation for the fact that I am Native American.
Wow.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Wow.
Enjoy.
How to handle you?
Do you? Yeah.
That's a lot of spikes.
Do you think that? Do you
just
think
add out
yeah.
also like you would like to be a cat someday?
Oh, yeah. That I actually sexually identify as a cat.
Yeah.
Or a computer dragon.
Or a tulip.
Or a tulip. Yeah, because what I'm saying, you can pollinate all day long. Yeah. But these things come from the fact that we've lost our grounding. We've lost the grounding in the fact that, okay, your dad was a carpenter, you're going to be a carpenter. Or your mother was a carpenter's wife, you're going to be a carpenter's wife. Which I think is, to shake that stuff up is very good. But at the same time, when I had all the spikes of the Native American female that was then
and a banker
and all this
and
stuff,
anarchist and,
and
liberal and
I have all these things that I've kind of fallen into because society is so open. How easy do you think it's going to be to insult my sense of values?
Oh, you're a minefield.
Yeah, I'm a minefield. And which means that I cannot actually participate in society without somebody insulting me.
And that's a tough life.
Feeling what?
Feeling misheard. I'm gonna most likely get like a fatigue syndrome because I'm always tense in my body because everything around me is triggering me, and people don't understand me, and they can never understand me, and that is very difficult for me.
That's it. Now, the social normalization is what you're teaching Osko, which all children have to go through what's called social normalization, which means you have to figure out that, okay, these are the laws of nature, gravity. Okay, you can be against gravity, but if you fall off a building,
you're gonna hit yourself.
Yes, and is society then required to provide you with an anti-gravity suit or a big bubble so that when you fall off, when you decide to ignore gravity, when you jump off, you end up bouncing down the road and not hurt yourself? Is that society's job? No.
Shouldn't be,
right? So in the same way, of course, taking some general precautions for what the majority needs in order to function so that society can move forward it's good, right? Understanding that, okay, we're a lot of people here, so if most of us think it's okay, then we do it, because otherwise we'll never be able to move, right? If everybody's going to agree we take a step forward with our right foot instead of our left, we'll never take a step forward. Consensus, 100% consensus is almost impossible because everybody has a special need, especially today. If everybody was like what their mama and papa were doing, then it would be different. Then all the carpenters are going to say one thing, and all of the holy people are going to say one thing, and all the healers are going to say one thing. All the people who work in the sewers know what's best because for generations they've been working in sewers. They know what sewer needs, right? So when we're completely broken open and we almost have no limitations at all, we also have no grounding and foundation.
We had a short conversation about it the other day, and I feel we are so pulling ourselves away from factual monkey stuff.
Yeah.
I say, you are a monkey. You have, that's how it is. Your body is a monkey. That's just how it is. And we have to accept that. But now we're just pulling it so far out that, and this is inflammatory, so I'm sorry, but you have two genders. You can identify as whatever. I don't care. You can identify however you want to do. You're free to do so. And I respect that. But you have two genders. Biologically, you have two genders. And when you get to the point where wasn't in medicine school in the States, and when a lecturer came in and he couldn't say the word penis.
I haven't heard this one. This is what?
No, he came in. He's gonna have. Okay, I'm gonna fact check this later. But no, it was maybe it was Eirik that told me. I'm gonna ask him. But no, it was lecturing in a big university in the States. that's going to have a lecture. And this was a lecture within
medical faculty.
Medical faculty, and the topic was genitalia. Like it was like the private parts of you.
Yes.
That was the subject this guy was going to speak about.
So when you show up, you can't be insulted because he talks about genitals because it's
no.
genitals.
He got pulled aside. It was Eric that told me this. He was pulled aside before the lecture, and he was told to do not use words like penis or vagina because that may offend people.
Wow.
And this is medical students in a medical university learning about your private parts.
Yeah, genitalia. Wow. About your penis and your vagina and
And
vulva.
he wasn't allowed to use the word penis or vagina. How is that, doctor? And you can come in and identify as whatever, but if you have an infection down there, you would really like the person that is checking it out to know what he's looking at and what it's called and what that thing do.
Yeah, you don't want them to look at, treat you for your vulva and vagina when you actually have male genitalia. That would be an issue.
That would be an issue. And that thing, we're so far out when we can't all accept that we have two genders. You can identify as others.
You can identify as whatever you want. Yes,
but biologically, you have two genders.
Plus, minus. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah. And we're pulling it so far out.
Are you
now.
XX or are you XY?
Does gravity exist?
Yes.
But do I identify as a gravityless person?
But somebody's going to say, yeah, but in space. Yeah, actually, it does actually exist there. It's just less powerful.
But that's the thing. Yeah. We're getting so cushioned that you are now
enabled.
You can think whatever you want, and you can't have proper conversations with people because they will not look at fact. They will look at what they think and feel. Mm-hmm. Like Earth is flat.
Mm. There's a lot of weirdness.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of weirdness.
It's a lot of weirdness.
Yeah.
That provokes me a little bit.
Well.
The conversation is taken so far out, and the thing is, how hard your life is, everything's going to inflame you instead of accepting that, okay, this is the facts, but I may feel like this and that. Okay, I understand that society in the big picture should maybe not, like if you're in Norway with 5.5 million people, so 4 million...
Yeah, 4.8 million or something like that.
5.5. But anyways...
Is it 5.5 now? Have we gone up?
It's 5.5.
Okay.
I checked the other day.
Okay.
And anyways, but should 5,499,999 people change their lives because I get offended?
Nope.
No.
That's correct. Nope. And that's it's hard. And you're like, okay, hold on. Why are you talking about this? Now, where does this actually apply in society? Well, have you ever heard of comparison and know that that's similar to competition? So why is it that you never have really women who transform their bodies to men competing against men, but you have several men who then become women with surgery that then want to compete against women? Do you think that it's because they just want to dominate? Now that right there is sign of man chauvinism and man domination over women. When a man becomes a woman and then competes against other women, that's what I truly feel is. But this is the point. That's actually allowed in some arenas, even in like national championships.
Yeah, in the Olympics.
Transgender Olympics that transgender
weightlifting.
Yeah, and weightlifting.
Olympics.
Yeah.
And you may, she's getting furious now. Yeah, well, I am, because being a high-level competitor, training 25 hours a week to become best in my sport, and then I have a fucking dude showing up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not taking anything away from women. We are so strong. But again,
and so badass.
We have to look at facts. We have two genders. If you're born male, you have male testosterone in your body, which makes you different from being from birth. And even if you do that sex change very early, it's
You're still
not
different.
it's you're still different.
Yeah. Your genes are different.
Do your change, but then accept that you cannot compete in female sports.
Yeah, equal rights doesn't mean being alike. And again, are you really comparing yourself with somebody correctly if you're actually a different gender and then hormonally change your body but have gotten the benefits of being the first gender? Again, you see men who become women compete against women, but you don't see the opposite. You don't see women becoming men that then compete against men. Do you know why?
You don't stand a chance.
Because you would get crushed. Because the infrastructure in your body is completely different. It's different. Now people are like, well, are you not respecting how strong women are, Jason? No, I am a coach of female athletes. And actually, to be quite honest, technically, and in terms of total quality, the two women in our club are probably the best athletes that I have. But there's a difference between man's strength and women's strength. So to give you an idea, how do they evaluate whether a male marathon runner is worth putting any energy in? By the time he's 16, if he has not broken the female world record in marathon, they don't want to develop him as a runner. Think about that. At 16, he's not even finished his testosterone, his real testosterone rage. I mean, you have to understand that there's a completely different foundation there. And why are we getting off on that topic? It is that this is an idea that we're having right now. It's a meme. It is part of our evolution in society, yes. But you have to realize sometimes you have to calm down, take a step back, and look to see if it's absurd. It's absurd that a flower is going to be worth the same as a house. It's absurd. It's absurd that a mathematical puzzle that takes 17 supercomputers a week and enough electricity to suck, or basically enough electricity to run a small town in a week, for a week, that thing called a Bitcoin is going to be worth $50,000 when it doesn't have any real value at all. Right? It was 3,000 last week. It's 50,000 this week. So these are ideas, guys. And these things change. So understand when you're a victim sometimes of the meme that's going around, but don't let it start or end your life. Don't let it decide how happy or unhappy you're going to be. Try to find that in yourself, because there's a lot of weirdness out there. So keep with your peer group, continue to build yourself, because wherever you are,
there you are.
There you are. So you have to decide what you want to focus on and what you want to grow inside yourself. What you practice, you get good at. You practice having good emotions and keeping focused and growing yourself regardless. Then when things change, you still grow. You know, that's what alchemy is. It's turning whatever shitty, heavy situation you have into gold. But that has to do with the resilience and your ability to recover and the work that you're doing personally. Right? So I'm lucky to have MTG as one of my closest peer group people, because the days that I don't feel 100% charged up, she's there to stand next to me and say, let's buckle up and get going. Let's run a Friday. Let's go. Right? I'm there with my great competitors that inspire me to keep in shape. I'm 50 years old and I feel great. I feel athletic, but I'm not always as supercharged to exercise as I was at one point. But because my peer group does, I do. Because we have an idea, we have a meme that staying in shape and being physically ready
is a thing that we have.
That's it. We are ready. Just like we're clear in our minds, in charge in our hearts, filled with unconditional love. Those are the memes that we carry. So what memes do you want to carry? What ideas, what goals, what direction do you want to carry? And how do you want to pick the people in your life that give you those things, to help you support them and give energy to them.
That's this week's task.
So remember, you matter. Unless you multiply yourself by the speed of light squared, then you're energy. But if you can't be energy, matter.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you felt we added something to your day and hopefully your life. If you want to learn more, subscribe to our newsletter and find us at integrated-human.com. That is integrated-human.com. Integrated Human on YouTube and other social media platforms. Have a great day and thank you again for listening. Love, light, and upgrade from us at the Integrated Human team.